What's up, everybody? Tyson Roush, Let's Talk Jets Radio. I want to thank everybody that joined us on Saturday night to talk UFC, Jets, Watson, Stafford, Kangaroos, and I actually got a video from someone with actually all the kangaroos in his backyard in Australia. And I want to thank him for that. Super cool. If I knew it was better at technology, I can post it on our page, but I'll figure that out. But thank you for that. I'm fascinated by kangaroos and koalas, and I have no idea why. We have now entered rumor season, where there's so many rumors going out there. I'd say probably 80% of them are bullshit, but you got to react to them anyway because we're fans, and that's what we do. So the first one is the Jets expressed interest in Matthew Stafford before he was traded, and that really can't be a surprise. Joe Douglas has preached due diligence, explore every option, look under every stone. So listen, you reach out, you say, what is the value? What do you want for him? And you see what happens. It also helps you gauge what other teams may want for their players, especially Deshaun Watson in Houston. So to me, it's a non-issue or non-story. I mean, the Jets are obviously looking to upgrade their quarterback position. He would be one of the guys that can help you do so. So it makes a lot of sense. But furthermore, the thing that you're learning a lot more is how aggressive that Carolina and Washington were to try to get Stafford. So that means obviously both of those teams will be aggressive with Watson if they're on his trade list. So, Carolina is fascinating. Washington's a win-now team minus a quarterback. Could that intrigue Deshaun Watson? Stay tuned. But I think there's going to be a lot of things out there. There's a lot of reports about how Deshaun Watson actually criticizes ownership, especially like David Tepper in Carolina, based on his handling of Cam Newton. So, this is going to be really interesting to see what his list is comprised of. The other story is that the Jets have received several calls on Sam Darnold, and that's not a surprise either. Listen, Darnold is young. He's cheap. And a lot of teams, 15, 16 teams looking for a quarterback. So like the Jets are doing their due diligence, other teams doing the same thing, especially when they think that the Jets are trying to look for Watson or maybe even draft a quarterback. So there's a lot of, I guess, feeling out for a lot of teams here, and none of it should really surprise you. And you just go from there, and it's hard not to overreact to a lot of these things. I think the biggest shoe to fall will be Watson and where this goes. And I think it may get expedited a little bit once the Super Bowl is over. Other than that, we'll just see what happens with all this stuff. You start looking at what free agents do you want to keep. Marcus May keeps coming up. How do you address other positions? We talked about running back. We talked about wide receiver. Allen Robinson, Chris Godwin, all these different scenarios, which will be really fascinating. I think one of the bigger stories we don't talk about is how many players that are under contract right now are going to get cut. I think there's going to be a lot of surprises there too. So a lot of videos you want to make now, like, top 5 running backs you want to go after, I think that number is going to change or the names are going to change once all these cuts start happening. There'll be June 1st designations, everything else. So it's kind of hard to really go in depth with free agency until you see some of these roster cuts. But anyway, thank you guys for joining us. Stay safe out there. We'll be live on Monday night, 8 o'clock on YouTube, Tuesday night, 8:30 on Blog Talk, the Super Bowl. If any breaking news comes out, we cover that as well, and we'll talk to you then.